Ātmano vikriya nasti, buddhirbodho na jatviti, jiva sarvamalang gyatva, jnata drashteti muhyati. Ātmanaha, for the self, vikriya, action, na, not, asti, is, buddhe, for the intellect, bodhyaha, capacity to experience, intelligence, na, not, jatu, at all, iti, thus, jivaha, the individuality, sarvam, everything, alang, enough, jnatva, knowing, jnata, the knower, drashta, the seer, iti, thus, muhyati, deludes. Ātman never performs action, and buddhi is never endowed with consciousness. But people believe that Ātman is identical with buddhi and fall under delusions like, I am the seer, the knower.
Namaste. So this is the result of superimposition, adhyasa. Even though the buddhi is not conscious, and even though Ātman is never a doer, because the buddhi is superimposed on Ātman, one thinks, I am the doer. I am the conscious doer. Combining these two absolutely different things into an apparency of one. And because the mind is all illusion, then one winds up with this compound, this inharmonious compound of different qualities. And of course, there's going to be consequences to this kind of misunderstanding. One is going to become entrapped in wrong ideas, wrong actions, and have to experience karma as a result. So, in other words, superimposition, illusion, and suffering are all part of one thing. And when one accepts this superimposition as being real, then of course there's going to be suffering. So one must use viveka, discrimination, to say, no, this is the mind, and it's illusory, temporary, conditioned, wrong most of the time. And this is Brahman. And Brahman is perfect and complete, but static, never changing. And that's what gives it its power. The whole world can end, but Brahman is not going to be affected in the least. So, what to speak of the tiny individual mind and intelligence? They're going to be overwhelmed even by the death of the body. And this is like one body out of billions and trillions. So don't make this mistake. Don't think that I am the knower, I am the seer, and all like this. No. That is Brahman. Of course, Brahman is the self, and the self is you. But here we're talking about I as the individual. I am the seer, I am the knower, I'm the doer, the possessor, the enjoyer, etc., etc. All false, all wrong. Impossible, actually. Because the body and the mind are both basically inert. They don't do anything. Actually, material nature, prakriti, does everything. And this material world is conceived and created as one whole from beginning to end. So whatever happens is not a result of our doing something. It just happens because that's the nature. That is the world. That is what was created at the beginning. From beginning to end, one seamless creation. Actually, there are no boundaries. There are only words and thoughts in the mind. So the only difference between birth and life and death is our analysis of it according to words, terminology. The Buddha said, oh, there's a wonderful quote. There is no scope for being or becoming insofar as there is terminology, words and forms, names, nama rupa. So in other words, within this illusion, within this creation, within this dualistic Maya, as long as we have a word for something, then it'll seem to exist. And the example is given of the pot. The pot is nothing but clay. It was clay when it was in the ground. It was clay when it's in the pot, the form, the shape of the pot. And then when the pot is broken and it goes back into the earth, it's again clay. So it's always clay. Only sometimes it's a pot because of its function, its shape, and our terminology for it. And the same is true of the mind. We think, I am. Well, what is this I am based on? It's based on Brahman, Ātman, the big self with a capital S. This personal, individual, limited I was Brahman in the beginning, it's Brahman in the middle, and it's Brahman in the end, just like the clay pot. So don't get caught up in this illusion. Separate yourself from it by the perspective of tmabodhah, knowledge of the Ātman, and realize that this is not me. This is not who I am. This is not myself. This is only a movie, like we talked about last time. It's only a movie projected on the screen of the mind. And when the movie is finished, or when the mind is finished, take your pick, the movie is over. And that is suffering. If we're attached to it and it goes away, we're going to miss it. We're going to feel sorry and feel separation and all that. Don't let that happen to you. Instead, take up this wisdom, this Brahma Jnana, Brahma Vidya, and realize that I am separate from all this. I am different. I am only the watcher, the witness. This is not me. This is not myself. This is the path that leads to happiness, because happiness is actually natural to the living being. Brahman is Satchitananda, right? Happiness is automatic when the causes of suffering are taken away. So to do this, we follow the Upanishadic method of neti, not this, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intelligence, I'm not the body, I'm not the senses, I'm not their objects. I'm certainly not the thoughts and feelings in the mind. I am not any of this. I am simply the watcher. And these things are going on, and I'm watching them. But they are not me. I am different from them. This requires a lot of repetition and going over again and again and picking out examples and analyzing them to see how it is so. How is it, for example, that we are the same consciousness during waking and sleeping, or during sleeping and deep sleep? How is it that when we wake up in the morning, we remember who we are? We don't just start over again from scratch. This is because we are different from the mind, the intelligence, the ego, the body, the senses, etc. We are Ātman. We are Brahman. We are pure consciousness, one without a second, in all bodies, absolutely the same. The bodies only appear due to upadis. When the upadis are removed, it is seen that all is one. All is Brahman. All is self.
Om Tat Sat. Om Shakti Om. Om